Today I'm going to be talking about a man that I think was relentless. Can y'all say relentless?
Relentless.
See, that's what Job was. You see, in Job chapter 1, verses 1 through 4, talks about how Job was a man of honesty. He was a man who was fully devoted to God and hated evil. You see, he had wealth, he had a wife, he had kids, he had a large crop and animals. You see, he was the most influential man in the entire East. Job had it all, but at an instant he also lost everything. You see, we expect betrayal from Job, but as it says in Job chapter 1, verses 20 through 22 in the Message translation says that Job got to his feet, then he ripped his robe, then fell to the ground and worshipped. Then he replied, "Naked I come from my mother's womb, naked I turn from the womb of the earth. God gives, God takes, God's name ever be blessed." Even after all this, Job did not sin, nor he did not curse God at all. The first point I want to bring to you is that Job was not only relentless to the call that God had placed over his life, but he was relentless to that call no matter what happened, no matter what came his way. But many of us blame God for the bad. How many of y'all have gone through something and we blame God? You see, I can tell you that I once blamed God for allowing me to live in an unlivable condition with no mom, no dad, just seeing people coming in and out, drunk, high, or just messing up their lives. And I blame God for that, but that was my testimony. Well, that was my test, but now I have a testimony. What you're blaming God for is your test, which God transforms into a beautiful testimony. But this morning I ask you, why haven't we thought about someone else and their need for us to show them to stand up and be relentless instead of giving up? What will it take for us to rise up? Job proved his integrity, but it cost him something. What is it costing us? As a church, as a generation, or even as a person? What price are we willing to pay? Because Job paid a big price. It wasn't until that he heard that his children had died that he arose. As I say again, what will it take us to rise up? Because every day we hear teens are dying, committing suicide, getting pregnant, or overdosing, but we still do nothing. There should be no reason why we're not rising up. See, Job had lost everything, but he still seeked after God. He still was relentless after God's face. But how far deep are we going to get ourselves to the point where we can only rely on Him? Do you remember when He was enough? It's time to get the fire that we once had. We must find a cause worth fighting for. If Job didn't seek relentlessly, he would have never had his breakthrough. He would have never had his blessings. But what if we give up? What if we don't seek relentlessly? What's going to be the cause of our failure? When we come to God, we must be willing to let go of some things and know that there's greater. We must be willing to let go of friends, relationships, dreams, or anything that's holding us back to see this generation saved. We hear it lots of time that it's not easy. But I'm telling you again, it's not going to be easy. People are going to turn their backs against you. They're going to talk about you. But it is possible. I say it's time to rise up and be like Job and seek relentlessly after God's face to save this generation. You see, Job was told by his wife to curse God. His friends were putting him down. He lost what was precious to him. He had no one. But you know what? He still seeked after God, regardless of his pain or situation. We can't give up. Turn to your neighbor and tell them, we can't give up.
We can't give up.
Okay, this morning I ask you, will you be relentless to save this generation, even if it means losing everything that is important to you? Or will you be relentless to the call that God has placed over your life? Or will you rise up to the call to see this generation saved? Thank you.